You want a super capable, dead nuts reliable Froder, but Jeeps just ain't your thing, and Land Rovers break down too much, gosh darn dang it much. From mid-century military outposts to modern suburban driveways, this rough and tumble Froder from the land of the rising sun fits in just about everywhere. Few competitors can match its go anywhere, do anything attitude. This is everything you need to know to get up to speed on the Toyota FJ Cruiser. Before we get into the show, I just want to give a big old shout out to our partners over at NOS Energy Drink. Our editors thank you. This puppy, he thanks you. Oh yeah. NOS Energy Drink gives me that woo! Other energy drinks are like, oh, woo, is that it? Where'd all my energy go? But NOS Energy Drink is like, woo, 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 I can do that. You want to rebuild your engine? No problem. You want to get back together with your ex-girlfriend? Sorry, bud, that's probably not gonna happen. You can still enjoy an ice cold NOS Energy Drink though. Now back to the story. The FJ helped propel fitness water Toyota to the top and made them a household name around the world. FJ! Nowadays, you see FJs cranking tunes and blasting dunes, but originally, they were made for war. And it all started with a Willie and a BJ. During World War II, the Japanese military got their hands on the Willys Jeep and tasked Toyota with making a better version of the lightweight, go-anywhere vehicle of the US military. Toyota created the AK series, and they were impressive little Froders. But they didn't turn the tides of battle, so Japan ultimately lost the war. This is why they lost the war, and the only reason that they lost the war. Donut fact. Toyota got another chance to update the AK a few years later in the Korean War. This time, it was the US military who ordered the company to build them some Jeeps. So, they took what they learned from the Willys and the AK and gave the US a BJ. They created a vehicle known as the Toyota Jeep BJ, which technical director Hanji Umehara later named the Landcruiser. The BJ was bigger than the Willys and faster, thanks to a 3.4-liter inline-six power plant. While Toyota was 0 for 2 in the military campaigns, they learned a crap ton about building all-terrain vehicles. In 1955, Toyota released the second-gen Landcruiser, which featured a fully redesigned 3.9-liter inline-six F-Series engine. These were known for their high amount of torque at low RPM, massive cast iron blocks and heads, and crazy good reliability. And in 1960, it was this engine that gave birth to one of the most iconic Toyotas of all time, the FJ40. Now the FJ40 not only conquered the jungles, mountains, and deserts of the world, it literally made Toyota a global brand. Sorry, excuse me guys. What's up? Are you bored? Yeah. You want to go home? Okay. This is our editor Colby's dog, and he's done. This is an easy time to remind you guys to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. It's the only way that we can tell if we're doing a good job. Also, if you don't, I'll eat this dog. Back to the story. In fact, the FJ40 was so popular that they sold them for 40 years. And Toyota, till this day, still makes new replacement parts for the FJ40. The FJ40 has a really, really cool story. We actually made another video about it. It's the Landcruiser. So if the FJ eventually turned into the Landcruiser we know today, where did the new FJ Cruiser come from? Well, friends, it started out as a concept that was never meant to be built. The new FJ Cruiser AKXJ10 made its debut as a concept-only vehicle during the 2003 Detroit Auto Show, and the Voodoo Blue retro off-roader quickly cast a spell on those longing for the good old days. While modern Land Cruisers were still super badass off-road, They'd become 3-row behemoths made for transporting drug lords through South America, warlords through Africa, and soccer moms to H&M at the mall. The old school Landcruisers, like the iconic FJ40, were way more utilitarian. The torquey, lightweight vehicles could go almost anywhere and really gave Jeep, their main competitor, a run for their money. Plus, they look freaking cool, which young people loved back then. I might be 34, but I'm just like you kids. The FJ concept was born out of the internally labeled RYU, or Rugged Youth Utility Design Team. Because nothing gets the kids going like an internal design code. What do they want? What do they want? I don't know. Let's make a big old team of old guys to figure it out.
Oh yeah, that sounds good. Let's get a big old team of old guys. They can figure out what the kids they want.
The mid-2000s were a bingo hall beige group of years for Toyota. Their business model had gone totally conservative and boring. They got rid of all the small, fun enthusiast cars like the Supra and the Celica. And Toyota had no plans to actually produce the FJ concept. They just wanted people to think that they were trying. To their surprise, the reception for both the media and the general public was so overwhelmingly positive that they had to go full Oprah on it. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car, and fast-tracked the FJ into production. So, with no production plan in place, Chief Engineer
Akio Nishimura
was given the almost impossible task of developing an FJ that could roll into showrooms in just 3 years. Normally, car development takes anywhere from like 7 to 11 years. And even though he was like, this is crazy, this is crazy, this is crazy, the dude made it happen, so props for that. The 2007 model year FJ was based on a stretched Landcruiser Prado box frame. It was powered by the bulletproof 1GR FE engine, which was an aluminum 4-liter V6 good for 239 horsepower. The engine was later upgraded with a VVTi, which gave it an additional respectable 20 horsepower. This was paired with your choice of a 5-speed automatic or a 6-speed manual. It was offered in either 2 or 4-wheel drive options. But it wasn't until you got past the drivetrain and underpinnings that the real beauty of the FJ came out. First and foremost, it was designed to be utilitarian like the FJ40 Landcruisers of the 60s. This was achieved in 2 ways. The first being tremendous off-road capability, and the second being unusual exterior and interior design elements. Toyota claimed that the 4x4 version, which was the one that everybody bought, was the most capable off-road vehicle in their lineup. And they have a pretty decent off-road lineup. It could drive through water up to 27.5 inches and had an approach angle of 34 degrees, departure angle of 30 degrees, and boy band angle of 98 degrees. The FJ achieved its off-road capability by using a high-mounted double wishbone front suspension, a 4-link rear suspension with a lateral rod, coil springs, and a stabilizer bar that provided over 9 inches of travel. They also mounted the air intake box on top of the engine for extra breathing room and gave the front and rear bumpers the high-waiter pants look to minimize the bumper being ripped off.
Oh, mierda!
The FJ also came with Toyota's A-Track system, rest in peace, that applied braking to wheels that had lost traction, mimicking the performance of a locking diff without the binding that can make steering difficult in normal locking diff setups. Genius. I love Toyota for stuff like this. One of the unusual exterior design elements is the windshield. It's flat, squat, like Reggie that you met before. You wouldn't want me to eat this dog, would you? You're not sick, are you? And it's at an angle similar to its namesake FJ40. Because of this, it had to have 3 front windshield wipers. The downside to the cool looking windshield, however, is that it's loud and it breaks because it doesn't deflect wind or road debris, which is like, in my understanding, the main 2 jobs of a windshield. Also like the FJ40, instead of having the Toyota emblem on the grille, they actually spelled out Toyota. T-O-I-Y-A-T-D-A, Toyota. Another exterior design element is the hidden doors, which opened 90 degrees to make it easier to load and remove the quick release seats. Though this suicide door design also meant that if a person in the front seat got out at the same time as the person in the back seat, they would be trapped against the parked car next to them. The doors also make it easier to hose down the interior, and I mean that quite literally. The inside of the car was made of waterproof plastic, so it could easily be cleaned and also easily be manufactured. Another unusual interior design element would be all the dummy switches. Normally blank switches are bad, but in the case of the FJ, they're pretty cool. In a rare move, Toyota gave the off-road aftermarket early access to the FJ so that when it launched, customers could immediately find aftermarket parts like winches, light bars, and brush guards to turn their Bruce Banner Toyotas into incredible Hulk off-roaders. Which brings me to our next subject. Customization. The company offered a TRD version, which included a CATBACK exhaust, Bilstein shocks, rock rails, and cooler wheels and tires, and in some cases, a different mechanical locking diff. Or you could have your local dealer turn your cruiser into an FJ crawler with brush guards, skid plates, lift kits, and more from the legendary Australian off-roading company ARB. The Toyota issued Trail Team Special Edition models featured unique colors for each year. And personally, I am quite partial to 2012's Radiant Red. Radiant Red. The FJ Cruiser is a great truck, and Toyota sold over 100,000 of them in the first 2 years, but as sales tapered off dramatically, Toyota decided they didn't want to carry a car in their lineup that only averaged 14,000 sales a year. So in 2014, they quit selling it. And the irony is that the FJ Cruiser maintains its resale value better than almost any other vehicle in America. So, if you learn anything from this video, I hope that it's you should take all of your money, drop out of college, and buy a ton of FJ Cruisers. Because there's gold in the mountains. We all gonna get rich. We all gonna get rich. Ooh, that one's handsome. This guy is this guy's brother. This guy could be their brother, but he's not their brother, but he's just as handsome, if not more handsome than the brothers. That guy's not that attractive. Well, he's definitely handsome than the littler brother, but equally, if not more handsome than the bigger, more handsome brother. I love you.